Welcome to Have You Seen This, where me and my brother Joel blah 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 blah. So when I started this movie, I didn't expect anything because of the rating, and because it's a punishment. So you did punish me, by the way, just to say that up front. Um, I was pretty hyped when I saw Peter Dinklage and Gary Oldman riding with trikes and being like those badass little person rockers riding the lands and the streets. And yes, you heard me right. Gary Oldman is portraying a little person, which is weird. Everything he does good, but I still think he shouldn't be in this movie. But we'll get to that later. The real story actually is about Oldman's. His character is called Ralphie, and Ralphie has a brother, portrayed by Matthew McConaughey, who plays Steven, who has a beautiful girlfriend called Carol, Kate Beckinsale. Okay, so they're a nice couple, and he's a big asshole because first of all, he never told her about his family, and then he never told her about his family all being little persons. Okay, and then he talked to his girlfriend many times about having a future together and children and a family, and everything is beautiful, and she's pretty hyped about that. But he's actually a liar, because when she gets pregnant and tells him, he gets all upset and bails because of work. Okay, she finds out about his family through his twin brother, Gary Oldman's Ralphie, and meets the entire family. Okay, and tells them who she is, and she's pregnant with Steven, and she's so happy. And they all tell her, listen, you're probably gonna have a little person child. It's the chance is like 99%. So she doesn't even think about getting rid of the child. She immediately thinks about what's going to be the problems. What do I have to learn now? What is new in my life? Okay, so she's very cool with all of that. Pretty cool, considering that she didn't know that. Okay, but Steven, Matthew's character, is the worst. Okay, and they get married, they split up. She goes to live with his twin brother, and they kiss, and the movie's over. That's pretty much it. Okay, so there is more to the movie, of course, especially, and those are maybe the good parts in the movie. The Peter Dinklage character is in a relationship with Patricia Arquette's Lucy, I think, and she's a, let's call it, normal size person, and he's we all know him from Game of Thrones. He's also a little person, and it's beautiful to see them together, and to see how all of the other little persons in the cast. It's a huge little persons cast. They're all just persons, and that's maybe the beauty in the movie. You just feel like, okay, having a lot of little persons around you just doesn't change anything in your life, except that you look down a lot, and that's it. And they fight, and they argue, and everything's portrayed as pretty normal, which is great. Okay, that's the good part. And this is actually what maybe happened in production, that someone said, we have to make a movie with a lot of little persons, and we just don't care about the story. Maybe that's how it happened. Gary Oldman being a little person is weird because he has these long arms. They cut his legs. They do a lot of cool tricks to cut his legs. They use some doubles, they use some green screens, and they use he's walking with a cane, which excuses his wobbling around because he's walking on his knees. This is all great, but in my opinion, and this is weird to say, but they shouldn't have cast him. They should have cast Peter Dinklage as his character, okay? The twin brother of the normal-sized Stephen character, because it makes sense, and the other thing doesn't. So I'm not so sure why this happened. I'd be furious being a little person and seeing the most important little person in the movie. Yeah, who do we cast? Gary Oldman. It's a bit strange, okay? But okay. Cut here! The cut in the movie is awful, okay? Some things in the story just get cut out, and you understand, still understand what happens, but it feels like the movie was 3 hours long and they just had to cut it, and they didn't cut in the right places. Some characters in there just don't fit. I still don't get what Steven's work associate is doing in the movie. She's just there and nobody knows why, and they could have cut all that out. But well, the movie was bad, so good job for punishing me with that. So I'll have to give you the next movie. I can't punish you, of course, so I'll give you Apocalypse Now. I heard that you haven't seen it. You've seen many clips, many parts of the movie on YouTube, in collections and stuff. So now you'll finally see The Thing with Martin Sheen, and it's a great movie. It's pretty long, but it's a good cut. Okay, so have fun with that, and yeah, see you next week.
What do you feel when you see all this death? Anything? You feel anything when you kill?
Yes, I feel.
What?
Recoil. I feel the recoil from the shotgun.